I'm Nuala Magnus, and my laundrette is called the Clean Bean. We used to have a cafe as well as a laundrette, and now it's just been taken over by laundry. David and I opened the business together 10 years ago. So he's my son. He's kind of responsible for many of the forward thinking ideas that we've put in place. He's brought about a lot of those changes, and it's kind of what has helped to keep us afloat, I suppose. Just being available as an online presence for people to order their laundry to be collected is quite a big part of the business. And now I'm going through to the front, which is noisy, uh, and it's the area the customers see. Um, I'll go to the front door so that you get a look at that view into the shop. So it's your kind of traditional, quite small space filled with machines. We've brought in some lockers, the seating area, with your poster on display. And that's our little portable work desk, which when we're not here, we wheel that away, and then it's just a space for people to use. It was an empty space when we saw it. There was quite a sleazy sort of pub across the road, a very old-fashioned, like a biker's pub, and the area wasn't great. The shop was just an empty space, and the idea of bringing a laundrette and a cafe together was mine, because I always thought that I'd had to use a laundrette in London, and it was a couple of laundrettes, and they were not very pleasant places. You literally rushed in, threw your stuff into the machine, hoped it would come out cleaner than it had gone in, and then left because it didn't feel that comfortable. And I thought there must be a way of doing this that isn't all just about the utility. We put an internet cafe into the back of the laundrette, and the space that I'm standing in now, which is now overwhelmed with laundry, was a garden. It was filled with plants. People loved it, but it made no money at all. So although it was lovely to have, it didn't work out practically. As immigrants in your mature years, and sort of when you've got adult children, it's a bit harder to integrate into communities than it might be if you were younger. And if you were going to university and clubs and socializing. So that took a bit longer, but we lived in Ireland and in London, and I think of all the places that we lived in before coming to Bristol, Bristol felt the most welcoming. Coming from South Africa, it was easier to integrate because of the language being, familiar. Even though people can recognize that you're not from here, you can still communicate freely. But over the years, and even, well, at the moment, just about everybody who works for us is pretty fluent, but I think they'd all acknowledge that in the beginning, it wasn't that easy. And in this kind of business, I'm going to move because this machine is going to start spinning. Sorry. In this sort of business, it's easy to have people whose language skills aren't great because they can still work and communicate enough with us. I think we've only ever had one person who struggled a lot and we couldn't communicate with, that unfortunately we couldn't make it work. You kind of feel quite happy to settle into a place where everybody is welcome. And it's taken a little while, but we are kind of in a comfortable place now. My daughters both live here and our grandchildren, so we're really Bristolians now. I think the challenges in running any service business and in a laundrette are both the physical work of being in a laundrette, of lifting, heavy loads of laundry, just dealing with equipment that isn't working, how to do 100 kilos of laundry in a short space of time. The goal was always that the customer wouldn't necessarily know how difficult it was. You know, it's not a quick sandwich or a cup of coffee. It's whatever the reason is that's brought them in to get something like laundry done. Yes, it's not glamorous, but they're always very appreciative of what we do. And you meet everybody. You don't just meet hip young people going off to the coffee shop. You know, it's everyone from grandmas down to, you know, mummies and everyone in between, working men who are perhaps far away from home, who have to come and get their laundry done, students who walk in and need a lot of hand holding. Yeah, but it's a lovely way of just meeting and finding out about where you live and the community around you. The people who come in the door and use the machines themselves are every sort of person in the area, and people come from even, you know, reasonably far away, because there are a lot of areas without laundrettes around Bristol. We fell very quiet over COVID because people were concerned, not knowing whether laundry could pass the virus on. But over time, people have gradually picked up their regular collections again. You do feel that you're not really alone when everybody in the entire world is affected by it. You know, it's not something you've done, it's just what is. In fact, most of the time, we don't really have staff working in the same place at the same time. We know what to do there. We always did wear gloves, and now we just wear masks as well when we're putting it in the machine. There've been some exciting times. We had cocoa put in the washing powder compartment. And I think in any business like this, yes, you will get challenging and interesting times, but the overriding thing is that generally people are nice. And if you meet them in a friendly and helpful way, then usually you can overcome a lot of issues. You know, you get overwhelmed sometimes if you've got a family or a busy life, and you don't want your home filled with damp laundry if you can avoid it. And I suppose once they find that it's a service that saves them time and gives them a tidy house, and it comes back all nice and neatly folded, then they like to come back and get it again. When I think it's a treat, you know, it's one of those treats that everybody loves to do something, go out to eat or have your hair done or have your face, you know, go for a facial or something to boost you. And for some people, that's getting their laundry done. We do a new thing now. I don't know if we've got any to show you. No, we make little parcels with lavender, little brown paper parcels where we put all the smalls and we tie them up and spray a little spray of lavender on it. So that's going down well.